Success doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't need loud words, flashy gestures, or constant validation from others. True greatness has a way of revealing itself through action, through resilience, and through the legacy it leaves behind. Humility is not weakness. It's a sign of strength, a sign that you know who you are and where you're going. Today, let's talk about why you don't need to show off to be truly successful, and how the quiet path is often the most powerful one. Let actions speak louder than words. It's an idea we've all heard before, but how often do we truly live by it? In a world where social media thrives on likes, shares, and the constant need to broadcast achievements, there's something profoundly refreshing about letting your actions do the talking. True success isn't measured by how many people know about it. It's measured by the impact of what you've done. Actions are not just louder than words. They carry weight, they leave marks, and they echo in the minds of those who witness them. Declarations of leadership are that which they reveal versus that which they pretend. When you focus on doing the work, on mastering your craft, and on building something meaningful, you automatically stand out. Think about it. The most inspiring people in your life, the ones you admire the most, are probably not the loudest in the room. They're the ones whose work speaks volumes without them ever having to shout about it. They've achieved their success by being disciplined, consistent, and intentional. They didn't need to tell the world what they were doing. The world eventually came to them because their work demanded attention. When you feel the urge to prove yourself through words, pause and ask, what am I trying to prove, and to whom? Often, the need to show off stems from insecurity, a feeling that you're not enough unless someone validates you. But real confidence doesn't need an audience. It's about knowing your worth even when no one is clapping. When you focus on action instead of words, you channel that energy into what truly matters: growth, excellence, and contribution. Imagine two individuals. One is always talking about their plans, sharing every small win and seeking applause. The other keeps their head down, works in silence, and lets their results speak. Over time, who earns more respect? The one whose results are undeniable. The one who didn't waste time explaining, but instead spent it executing. That's the power of letting actions lead the way. Success isn't about how much attention you can draw to yourself. It's about the value you create. When you let your actions do the talking, people notice. They pay attention, not because you ask them to, but because they can't ignore what you've done. There's an authenticity in quiet achievement that loud declarations can never replicate. He brings this representation to my attention today to prove to me that the devil himself is not impossible. It's the difference between someone who brags about running a marathon and someone who silently trains every morning, crosses the finish line, and inspires others to do the same just by their example. We live in a culture that often rewards noise over substance, but noise fades. Substance lasts. Words can be empty, but actions leave a legacy. Think of the greats in any field, whether it's a leader, an artist, or an innovator. They weren't remembered for what they said about themselves. They were remembered for what they did. Their contributions spoke for them long after they were gone. Their contributions spoke for them long after they were gone. By letting your actions speak louder than words, you also protect yourself from unnecessary pressure. Words create expectations, and the more you talk about what you're going to do, the more pressure you feel to meet those expectations. But when you focus on action, you're free to work at your own pace, free to make mistakes and learn without the world watching. You're not performing for an audience, you're building for yourself. And so, with all that said and done, this approach also cultivates humility. When you don't seek credit or applause, you stay grounded. You understand that success isn't about impressing others. It's about fulfilling your potential and making a difference. You don't need to prove yourself because you know your work will prove it for you. That's a powerful mindset, one that keeps you focused on what really matters. Ultimately, letting your actions speak louder than words is about integrity. It's about doing what you say you're going to do and being who you claim to be. It's about consistency and authenticity. When you live this way, you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Your actions will be all the evidence they need. And in the end, isn't that the truest form of success? Humility is one of the most misunderstood qualities in today's world. Too often, it's seen as a weakness or a sign of passivity. People mistake being humble for being small, for staying in the shadows, or for being unwilling to assert yourself. But humility is none of those things. In reality, humility is strength. It's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and where you're headed. It's the ability to stand firm without needing to shout. It's about understanding that your worth isn't determined by how loudly you proclaim it, but by the quiet impact of your actions. In a culture that glorifies self-promotion, humility is rare. The world often tells us to be bold, to demand attention, and to make sure everyone knows what we've accomplished. But think about the people who truly inspire you. Are they the ones who constantly talk about their achievements, or are they the ones who lead by example? The most powerful individuals often exude a calm, understated confidence. They don't need to remind you of their value because it's evident in everything they do. Their humility isn't about downplaying themselves. It's about letting their actions and character shine brighter than their words. Being humble doesn't mean you think less of yourself. It means you think of yourself less. It's not about shrinking or diminishing your accomplishments. It's about recognizing that success is never achieved in isolation. No matter how talented or hardworking you are, there are always people, opportunities, and circumstances that contribute to your journey. Humility allows you to acknowledge that and to express gratitude for the roles others have played in your life. Meditation represents a renewed sense of gratitude for the roles others have played in your life. It reminds you to stay grounded, no matter how high you climb. Because the moment you forget where you started, you risk losing the very qualities that got you there. Humility is also a powerful shield against arrogance. Arrogance is a trap. It blinds you to your weaknesses, limits your growth, and alienates others. When you're consumed by arrogance, you stop learning because you believe you already know everything. You stop listening because you think you're always right. But humility keeps you open. It keeps you curious. It allows you to see your flaws as opportunities to grow rather than threats to your ego. It's a mindset that values progress over pride, and that's what makes it so powerful. In relationships, humility builds trust and respect. No one wants to follow a leader or work with a colleague who is constantly self-absorbed or dismissive of others. But when you approach people with humility, you create space for genuine connection. You show that you're willing to listen, to learn, and to collaborate. You demonstrate that you value others for who they are, not just for what they can do for you. This kind of humility fosters loyalty and inspires others to give their best because they feel seen, heard, and respected. Humility also gives you resilience. Life is unpredictable, and success isn't a straight path. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when things don't go as planned. If your self-worth is tied to your accomplishments or to the image you project, those moments can be devastating. But if you approach life with humility, you understand that failure is just part of the journey. You're not afraid to admit when you've made a mistake because you know it doesn't define you. Instead, you use it as an opportunity to learn and improve. That resilience, the ability to bounce back without letting your ego get in the way, is one of the greatest strengths you can have. Ultimately, humility is about perspective. It's about seeing the bigger picture and understanding that success is not about standing above others, but about lifting others up. It's about knowing that your legacy won't be defined by how many people you impressed, but by how many lives you touched. Humility doesn't make you weak, it makes you unshakable. It keeps you grounded in your purpose, connected to others, and open to growth. And that is where true power lies. The power of focused growth lies in its simplicity and clarity. It's about tuning up distractions, silencing the noise around you, and committing to the path that leads to your goals. In today's fast-pacing, overstimulated world, it's easy to be pulled in 1,000 directions. Notifications, comparisons, and the endless stream of other people's lives can make you feel like you're always behind or that you need to keep up. But the truth is, real progress comes not from doing everything, but from doing the right things with precision and consistency. Focused growth is about narrowing your vision to what truly matters and giving it your undivided attention. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's deliberate. It's the result of small, intentional steps taken every single day. When you spread yourself too thin, you dilute your energy and efforts. You might feel busy, but you're not making meaningful progress. Focused growth requires discipline. The kind of discipline that keeps you saying no to distractions and yes to the things that align with your purpose. It's about having the courage to prioritize, even when it means missing out on what others are doing. The path to success isn't crowded because most people aren't willing to stay on it long enough to see results. Imagine a magnifying glass held over a piece of paper. If you keep moving it around, nothing happens. But if you hold it steady under the sunlight, eventually it creates enough heat to ignite a flame. That's the power of focus. It turns scattered energy into concentrated impact. Whether you're working on your career, building a business, or pursuing a personal goal, the principle remains the same. Progress requires focus. When you direct your energy toward one area, you can achieve extraordinary things that would never be possible if you were trying to juggle too many priorities. Focused growth also requires self-awareness. You have to know where you want to go and why. Without a clear sense of direction, it's easy to get caught up in activities that feel productive but don't actually move you closer to your goals. Self-awareness helps you identify what matters most and align your actions with your values. It keeps you from chasing success on someone else's terms and ensures that your growth is meaningful to you. When you're clear about your purpose, it becomes easier to let go of distractions and stay committed to your path. Gargantuan. One of the biggest challenges to focused growth is the temptation of instant gratification. We live in a world that celebrates quick wins and overnight success stories, but real growth is rarely glamorous. It's about showing up every day, even when the results aren't immediate. It's about embracing the process, knowing that each small step is building a foundation for something greater. Focused growth is patient. It understands that shortcuts often lead to dead ends, and that true success comes from putting in the work over time. Another key aspect of focused growth is adaptability. While focus is about staying committed to your goals, it doesn't mean being rigid. Sometimes the path you're on may need to change. Circumstances evolve, and new opportunities arise. Adaptability allows you to adjust your approach without losing sight of your ultimate destination. It's the balance between staying focused and staying flexible, knowing when to push forward and when to pivot. Focused growth also teaches you resilience. When you're clear about your priorities and deeply invested in them, setbacks don't derail you. Instead, they become part of the process. You learn to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger and more determined. Each obstacle becomes a lesson, and each failure becomes a stepping stone. Focus keeps you moving forward, even when the journey is tough. Focus keeps you moving forward, even when the journey is tough. Lastly, focused growth isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. When you commit to a path and dedicate yourself fully, you cultivate qualities like discipline, perseverance, and self-mastery. These qualities not only help you achieve your goals, but also prepare you for greater challenges and opportunities in the future. Growth is not just about reaching the finish line. It's about evolving into the best version of yourself. Well, in the end, focused growth is a powerful reminder that success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most. It's about cutting through the noise, staying true to your purpose, and taking consistent steps toward your goals. When you embrace this mindset, you unlock the ability to achieve extraordinary things. Not because you're trying to do it all, but because you're focused on doing what truly counts. Resilience over recognition is a principle that defines true success. In a world where validation often feels like the ultimate prize, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking applause instead of building strength. But the reality is that recognition is fleeting. It comes and goes like waves on the shore. Resilience, on the other hand, is lasting. It's the quiet force that keeps you moving forward when no one is watching, when the crowd has stopped cheering, and when the path ahead feels impossibly hard. Resilience is the foundation of success because it ensures that you can endure, adapt, and thrive no matter the circumstances. The pursuit of recognition can be a distraction. When you focus too much on being seen or acknowledged, you start tailoring your efforts to what others want to see rather than staying true to your goals. Recognition can become a false measure of success, leading you to prioritize appearances over substance. But resilience shifts the focus back to what matters: your ability to withstand challenges, learn from failures, and keep striving even when the odds are against you. It's not about how many people clap for you, it's about how many times you can get back up when life knocks you down. Resilience is built through adversity. No one becomes strong by avoiding struggle. It's the tough moments, the setbacks, the disappointments, the failures that shape your character and prepare you for greater challenges. When you embrace resilience, you stop fearing failure because you understand that every misstep is an opportunity to grow. Recognition might make you feel good in the moment, but resilience gives you the strength to keep going long after the applause has faded. Bad things improve you in times of stress, and resilience gives you the strength to keep going long after the applause has faded. It's the ability to keep showing up, to keep working, and to keep believing in yourself even when there's no external validation. The truth is, the road to success is rarely smooth. It's filled with obstacles, detours, and moments of doubt. Recognition might motivate you temporarily, but it won't sustain you through the tough times. Resilience, however, will. It's what keeps you grounded when things don't go as planned. It's what helps you find solutions when problems arise. And it's what allows you to persevere when others would give up. Resilience is the quiet strength that turns setbacks into stepping stones and failures into fuel for future success. Choosing resilience over recognition also allows you to focus on the long game. Recognition is often tied to short-term achievements, but resilience is what enables you to keep building, growing, and improving over time. It teaches you patience, the value of hard work, and the importance of staying committed to your goals, even when the rewards aren't immediate. When you prioritize resilience, you're not chasing quick wins. You're building a legacy. You're creating something that lasts because it's rooted in effort, determination, and unwavering purpose. Resilience also frees you from the need for constant external validation. When you're resilient, you don't rely on others to tell you you're doing well. You know it for yourself. You understand that success isn't about the approval of others. It's about the progress you make and the impact you have. This inner strength gives you the freedom to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, and to pursue goals that might not be popular or widely understood. Resilience empowers you to stay true to your vision, even when it goes against the grain. Another powerful aspect of resilience is that it inspires others. People are drawn to those who can endure, adapt, and overcome. When you demonstrate resilience, you become a source of strength for those around you. Your ability to rise above challenges shows others that they can do the same. Recognition might make you admired, but resilience makes you respected. It creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to embrace their own challenges with courage and determination. Resilience is also deeply personal. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about knowing that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. When you focus on building resilience, you become unshakable. You stop worrying about what others think and start concentrating on what truly matters: your growth, your goals, and your journey. Recognition is temporary, but the strength you gain through resilience stays with you for a lifetime. In the end, success isn't defined by how many people recognize your efforts. It's defined by your ability to keep moving forward, no matter what. Resilience over recognition means choosing substance over show, grit over glory, and strength over applause. It's about knowing that the journey itself is the reward, and that true success lies in your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. Resilience over recognition lies in your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. When you prioritize resilience, you don't just chase success. You build it from the ground up, one challenge at a time. And that kind of success is unbreakable. Legacy over ego is a principle that calls us to think beyond ourselves. It's about asking what we're leaving behind, not what we're gaining in the moment. Ego often demands recognition, attention, and self-serving rewards. But legacy is built on impact, contribution, and the difference you make in the lives of others. While ego seeks immediate gratification, legacy focuses on the long term, creating something that will outlive you. True success isn't measured by how much you can take from the world. It's measured by how much you give to it. Ego is loud, it craves validation, and constantly asks, "What's in it for me?" It's tied to the need to feel important, to be seen, and to prove your worth. But the pursuit of ego-driven success is shallow and fleeting. It's like building a house on sand. It may stand for a while, but it lacks the foundation to withstand the test of time. Legacy, on the other hand, is quiet. It's not concerned with being in the spotlight. It's focused on building something meaningful. Legacy asks, what am I creating that will endure? How am I making a difference for others? Building a legacy requires humility and self-awareness. It means acknowledging that you're part of something bigger than yourself and that your actions have the power to impact others. While ego thrives on individual achievements, legacy recognizes the value of community and collaboration. It's about lifting others up, sharing your knowledge, and using your talents to create opportunities for those around you. When you focus on legacy, you shift from a mindset of scarcity, where you're constantly competing with others, to one of abundance, where you believe there's enough success to go around and that helping others succeed doesn't diminish your own achievements. So, focusing on legacy also gives you a sense of purpose. Ego often leads to chasing goals that are self-serving or superficial. It can leave you feeling empty even after you've achieved what you set out to do, because those goals weren't tied to anything deeper. Legacy, however, connects your actions to a greater mission. It pushes you to ask, why am I doing this? What impact do I want to have? What will people remember me for? When you have a clear sense of purpose, every step you take feels more meaningful. You're not just working for yourself, you're working to create something lasting. End quote. Ego is fragile. It's easily bruised by criticism, failure, or being overshadowed. It demands constant feeding through praise and acknowledgement. Legacy, however, is resilient. It's not about how others perceive you in the moment, but about the cumulative impact of your actions over time. When you focus on legacy, setbacks don't feel like personal attacks. They become opportunities to learn, grow, and refine your approach. You understand that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that every experience, whether good or bad, contributes to the bigger picture. Choosing legacy over ego also helps you build deeper, more authentic relationships. Ego often prioritizes winning over connection, status over sincerity, and competition over collaboration. But when you're focused on legacy, you see relationships as an essential part of your impact. You value people not for what they can do for you, but for who they are. You invest in others, mentor them, and create environments where they can thrive. This not only enhances your legacy, but also enriches your own life, as the connections you build become a source of fulfillment and joy. Legacy is about contribution, not consumption. It's about creating value, not just extracting it. When you focus on legacy, you stop chasing the superficial markers of success, like titles, wealth, or accolades, and start prioritizing the things that truly matter: integrity, kindness, and the positive influence you have on others. You understand that your worth isn't defined by what you own or achieve, but by the lives you touch and the change you create. Finally, focusing on legacy over ego allows you to leave the world better than you found it. It's a mindset that extends beyond your lifetime, considering the impact your actions will have on future generations. It pushes you to think about sustainability, ethics, and the long-term consequences of your choices. When you prioritize legacy, you're not just building for today, you're building for tomorrow, for people you may never meet, but whose lives will be better because of what you've done. In the end, legacy is what remains when ego fades. It's the story people tell about you when you're no longer in the room. It's the lessons, inspiration, and contributions you leave behind. Ego may get you applause, but legacy earns you respect. Ego seeks to elevate itself, while legacy lifts everyone around it. When you focus on legacy over ego, you don't just achieve success, you create significance. Legacy is for the direction of purpose. Let your purpose be your guiding light, not your emblem. And that is the true mark of a life well lived.